Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your tarot card reading for October 2023. Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your October readings. Let's go ahead here and get started. What is it that Taurus needs to know for October? Starting with an oracle, this says splitting apart, impermanence, collapse, deterioration, separation, let go, surrender, eliminate the old, and death. Well, that could not be a more appropriate card given the season. We have eclipses coming up. All right, we've got a new moon eclipse on the 14th in Libra, but on the 28th, we have the full moon eclipse in your sign, Taurus. Now, technically, all right, so this eclipse in your sign on the 28th is happening at 5 degrees. We have Jupiter at 13 degrees. Technically, that is a conjunction. It's a looser conjunction, but it is a conjunction nonetheless, which means that Jupiter does have some influence in this eclipse coming up on the 28th, okay? And it will be Scorpio season during that time, end of October and on into the beginning of November. I know these readings are super late, you guys. I'm so sorry. But as we move into Scorpio season, it is the time of release. It is the season of elimination. And I even like the fact that this says the word eliminate. It says eliminate the old, let go, surrender, separate. Right? Taurus is so the opposite of that. Taurus is about acquisition and gaining and earning and bringing new life into things, whereas Scorpio is about get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. We don't need it, we don't need it, we don't need it. And not to be too grotesque about this, but if you think about it this way, right, Taurus is where we eat. That's why it's connected with food, right? And Scorpio is where we eliminate. So it's kind of that full process, that full spectrum process that we need to go through. So we have to eliminate the things that are not needed, extraneous, the things that are draining us or exhausting us, right? Anything schedule-wise or financially, or when it comes to people, when it comes to any kind of obligations that we have, right? We get to eliminate and get rid of those to free up more space and more time so that we can dedicate the majority of our energy and our focus and time and investments into things that are actually working for us, okay? This is actually a highly productive time where a lot of the things that we've set intentions for can really start coming to life. But that means we have to be focused. It means we have to be disciplined. And it means we have to have that commitment and dedication to those goals. And sometimes we do have to separate ourselves from things that aren't helpful and things that pull us down or deter our focus in some way, shape, or form. And we have to be honest about those things too. I would say that Libra and Scorpio seasons are huge honesty seasons where we have to look at our life and we have to look at certain circumstances and we have to look at our contribution to those circumstances. And we have to be honest about what needs to change and our role in that actual change. Okay, so in the environment, we got this one for Aries as well. We have nothing as yet set in stone, which means you have a blank canvas in front of you. So it depends on what it is you want to paint. Now you can paint the same old picture if you want, the same old picture you've been painting over and over and over again, or you can paint a completely different thing. This all comes down to choices. Now, choices was a huge theme throughout the September readings, okay, through Virgo and Libra seasons. Choices, how we spend our time, how we prioritize, how we speak, how we communicate, even how we think. All those things were really important, and those themes are certainly carrying over through the next couple of months. But just understand that if you start making different choices and you start speaking differently to yourself and others, and you start spending your time differently, your life can rapidly change. When nothing is yet set in stone, it indicates to me that your life is malleable. And we as human beings tend to just keep doing the same old thing because it's comfortable, we're in a habit, we have certain patterns, and we just do what we do. But this is not the time to just do what we do. This is the time to do things differently. Scorpio season is a time of change, okay? Where Taurus, which is opposite of Scorpio, right? It's more about sustainability. We try to sustain things in Taurus, but we change in Scorpio. All right, so this is an opportunity for us to really harness and grasp consciously, to do it consciously, because when we do it consciously, we're a little bit more supported and we will make better decisions. So let's see what comes through. Let's see if we can get more specific. I feel like this was kind of a general opener. So let's see if we can get more specific with things. Okay, beautiful. We have an Ace of Swords. We have an Emperor. Four of Cups. It would be advantageous for you, Taurus, to hone in on like one or two really important goals and not overcomplicate it too much. Your life is your life, and I'm not suggesting that your whole life is going to get turned upside down. Okay, yes, you're on the docket for the eclipses, right? We have that. Did I talk about this already? I feel like I'm repeating myself. I don't remember. But yes, you are on the docket for the eclipses. We have the new moon eclipse in Libra on the 14th, so coming up here within the next week. And then we have the full moon in Taurus on the 28th. All right, so this is the 5th degree of Taurus. Technically, Jupiter is conjunct. Again, I'm so sorry if I'm repeating myself. I don't remember if I said it. So technically, Jupiter is conjunct, so it's adding an amplification process to this eclipse. But what I like about eclipse season, and we can talk about all the dark stuff or whatever. I know a lot of astrologers talk about that. But to me, it's just an alignment, right? We have the sun, we have the moon, we have the earth, all in an alignment. And it would make sense that aspects of our own life would also align. And it's not usually a time of confusion when we have this alignment going on. I'm not saying it's exactly what you expect it to look like. I'm not even going to say it's easy, because it may not be easy. But at least there's clarity here with the Ace of Swords. And you're not going to be wishy-washy and, I don't know, and what about this and what about that? I don't know. When Mars comes into Scorpio on the 12th, it's a very strong Mars placement. We haven't had a super strong Mars in a long time. So when Mars comes into Scorpio on the 12th, it's a whole different layer of focus and dedication, okay? And even as he comes into that opposition with Jupiter throughout November, well, actually end of October, really, end of October we'll feel it. That opposition with Jupiter is going to magnify the Mars quality. So it's going to magnify the direction and that warrior soldier energy. It's going to magnify the self-interest and the desire to do something for the sake of yourself. All right. And you're going to have the clarity on what to do. That's why if you can hone in on just one or two bigger goals right now between October, November, and December for the next 3 months, that would be a really good idea. Because then you can, it's simple, right? And you're eliminating, right? You're splitting yourself apart from all of the other little extraneous things that you may have going on. But the Emperor here, you know, he has this tendency to kind of go a little narrow focus. Sometimes that's a bad thing. Sometimes that's a good thing. I would say right now it's a good thing. And even with the Four of Cups, I kind of see you saying no to certain options. Okay, I see you turning things away. I see you, I don't know. I feel like the definition of focus is saying no to everything that's not in line with what it is you want. And with every time you say no to something that doesn't align, you are in turn solidifying and amplifying the yes that you have to the actual goal. And the more and more you can amplify that yes, that's the goal I want. Yes, that's the thing I want to go after. It's what I want to accomplish. The more and more you can say yes to that goal, I think the more enthusiasm you'll get. The more passion, I think you'll instill within yourself. And I think that's sometimes what an emperor needs. I think an emperor struggles with doing things that he really doesn't care about. You know, like if it's coming from an obligation, like you're obliged. I think for some reason I think of a lot of I don't have kids, so I don't really know about this. All I know is like what my friends tell me and what I see on TV and TV shows and stuff. like, when your kid's school demands a lot of you, like you have a bake sale or something, or you have to, like a school play and you have to volunteer, unless you're really into that, probably that's going to be a really inconvenient type of thing. And an emperor is going to have a hard time getting excited and passionate about inconvenient things. And because of that, the work may suffer. Things could fall through the cracks. There could be procrastination, all those types of things. So that's not really going to be beneficial for anybody. It's really good for Taurus to be in a place where they're passionate and feeling creative and feeling that flow. It's going to be better for everyone because you're actually going to accomplish something. Okay? I'm not saying you're going to accomplish nothing if you don't do it. It's just, are you going to accomplish the things you actually want to accomplish? Is that really how you want to spend your life, So let's see. What else comes through? Temperance. Man, Chariot has been coming out quite a bit. Now, Temperance tells me that there's going to be a situation where you're going to have to exhibit stillness or stoicism or discipline. See, Temperance is a very neutral kind of place. And even if something big happens, if there is an actual, because I'm looking at the water in this card and it's really stormy. Okay, we've got huge waves. We have deterioration, separation, let go, impermanence. And when we have words like that, it's like, well, something is going to show you that it's impermanent. Something is going to show you that you want to be away from it, or that something is going to deteriorate. Eclipses is usually a time when stuff like that happens, and we tend to feel very separated from things. But your reaction to that feels temperate, moderate, neutral, straight-lined. And that's where the power really is, because if you can let something deteriorate in front of you while knowing, like, yeah, maybe it was something at some point, maybe it was something I wanted or something I worked for, or even something I earned, but now it doesn't have a place in where I'm going. Maybe it doesn't have a place in my future, so I'm just going to let it deteriorate. I'm going to let it separate. I'm going to let myself split apart from that thing or that person or place or job or whatever. I'm going to let myself separate from it. And it's the way that you handle that emotionally and psychologically that is going to give you this sort of boost with the Chariot. Okay, now the boost is a kind of a transcendence or an upward mobility. There's always an upward or an improvement motion with the Chariot. There's always something better. The Chariot is always taking you to an improved circumstance. Sometimes it can come through like a promotion, or it can come through like just more money or a better client, or a new opportunity of some kind comes in and sort of changes the game. It can be big or small. It doesn't have to be this huge thing. But even if it's a small thing, I think what it does is it instills that excitement. And when you have the excitement and the passion with that emperor and the dedication and focus, then that Chariot can really start to go, and you can start to see consistent improvements in your circumstances. Now, with the Ace of Swords and the Judgment card, now these two cards often come out together. They're kind of like a unofficial pairing of cards. I don't know if it's just me as a reader or if it happens to every reader, but for me, my whole career, these two cards come out all the time together. And it just reinforces that clarity. Like, Taurus, this is not going to be a month where you're sitting down and questioning your life's choices. I don't think you're even going to have time for that. I don't think you're going to waste time for that. I think you're just going to say, all right, well, this is the circumstance as it is right now, in a very realistic way, with no emotion about it. It's not to feel badly, right? It's just, this is what it is, period. And that's where I want to be, period. And based on my knowledge and based on my current trajectory and my current degree of momentum, this is going to be the most likely path to get me from A to B. Now, the universe may have some twists and bends and surprises and detours. That's normal. That's the way life goes. But as of today, in this moment, with the information that you have at your disposal right now, you can make certain choices for tomorrow. And I don't think you have to really think that hard about it. It doesn't mean actually doing it isn't hard, because it might be hard. It might be a challenge. It might, you may hit up against some adversarial stuff, both internally and externally. But the clarity is there. And I think sometimes that's one of the hardest things. I feel like a human being can do pretty much anything as long as they have that clarity, because when a problem comes, like, we can deal with it. When an issue arises, we can deal with it. But if we don't know where we're going and then a problem comes up, then sometimes we can feel defeated, and we have there's a greater tendency to just throw our hands up and say, forget it. But the clarity drives the ambition. It drives the focus. And I think right now Taurus is feeling that. And I think you're also feeling, right, nothing is yet set in stone. It kind of feels like a blank slate a little bit. Or it has the potential to. And whenever we get that blank slate, it's always, it always can be reinvigorating. Because you're like, well, I know it can look however I want it to look. And if you're determined to make it look different than it has over the years, then this is a moment where you actually really can paint a different picture. But you have to make the different choices, right? You have to break the pattern. And maybe splitting apart death, deterioration, maybe that also applies to your behavioral patterns. And sixth house is active for you. Okay, we've got Mercury, we've got the Sun, we've got Mars in there just for the next few days. The Sun will be there until the 23rd. Mercury will be there until the 22nd. So we've got a couple of weeks here with strong sixth house energy. So it probably is amplifying your behavior. Man, Ace of Cups, I feel like, has come out in every single reading. Sun, beautiful, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, I love the Eight of Wands as an indication of swift motion and movement. I don't want you to worry that you're being too rash. Sometimes with eclipses, a lot of astrologers will say, like, don't do anything. Wait until after the eclipses. If you do something, it's going to be a mistake. It's going to be awful. Probably not, okay? Probably, if something goes awry when you're making a decision during this time, it actually probably catalyzes stuff. It moves it along. It speeds everything up. Can it get a little messy sometimes? Yeah, but it's not the end of the world. And it's not that big of a problem that you can't pick yourself back up after. I'm a huge proponent for manifesting during eclipses and taking action during eclipses. Sometimes it's hard not to, because that's the intensity of what's good. That's the intensity of the alignment, right? It's hard to just sit still and just do nothing and meditate your way through it. It's when we're feeling that inspired action, like, why not? Why not get up and do something great and take a chance and take a risk and have some courage. Yeah, the nodes can be a little crazy sometimes, but sometimes we need to get out of our little controlled boxes, our little kind of perception that we have so much control. Because I don't want to see you missing out on I look at this Ace of Cups and I see a real gift. I see something beautiful and special and something that's wanted for Taurus. By having that passion and by saying no to things, it makes sense that your alignment is going to bring in something wonderful. And I also love the Sun. I love this whole row right here. This is so cool. I love it because it feels real. And I like my fixed signs, right? Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, because usually authenticity just kind of comes with, it's at least a fixed sign that's like on the healing path anyway. Okay, authenticity just kind of comes with. Usually what you see is what you get with a fixed sign. What you see is what you get with a Taurus. There's not a lot of hidden layers there, unless there's something else going on in the chart. But generally there's not a lot of hidden layers there. And Taurus, you are just a naturally passionate and creative sign. It's the essence of Venus. There's a beauty of or an appreciation of the beautiful things. And if you don't see beautiful things around you, you're always going to have that tendency to create it yourself. And I think there is a voice that's coming up for Taurus right now with Jupiter in your sign and with the eclipses. There's a voice, there's an idea, there's a desire that's coming up for you. And I think that does need to be prioritized because of what's possible for you right now. Especially if you've already determined that certain things really are not priorities, or that certain things really are not all that important. So as you move in through the rest of this month, if you haven't, I would sit down and ask yourself, what are the top 2 or 3 goals that are going to demand your attention for the next 3 months? October, November, December, and if you want to bring it out into January, you certainly can. But what are those 3 goals? What are the things? And what are the things that are in the way of you doing those things right now? Because if you have like 3 goals and 25 things that are in the way, right, you're going to have to go down that list of things that are in the way and sort of knock them out. If finances is one of the things that's in the way, the question would be is, well, maybe I can't do all my goal, but what can I do? What piece of this can I do and just get something going? Or look for alternative options or something. Okay, now, with that being said, please do not put yourself in debt. This is one of the worst times to acquire unhealthy or like consumer debt. If you know debt and you understand how to work with it, fine. If you don't understand debt, stay away from it. I will just say that from a financial standpoint, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the remaining clarifiers. So the cards I'm about to pull out, everyone, are the cards we'll cover in the comprehensive reading, and the link for that will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below. We usually talk for another 25 to 30 minutes, so we get like a much more in-depth view of everything. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. So let's see. Well, okay, a lot of death. We have a splitting apart. We have death. Yes, it is the nature of the season, moon. And another judgment card. Beautiful. Hierophant. Queen of Wands. This is for the environment. Okay. Let's take a look at the Ace of Swords. What is it that Taurus needs to know about the Ace of Swords? We have the High Priestess. 9 of Cups, 5 of Swords, Magician, Page of Cups, and 5 of Wands. The Hermit. You might need some solitary time. 6th house, Hermit, makes sense. 3 of Wands and 4 of Wands. 7 of Coins, 4 of Swords, Queen of Coins, 8 of Coins. I love 8 of Coins. 5 of Cups, Page, King of Cups, another 5 of Coins matching here. Beautiful Ace of Swords right on top of that Judgment card. What did I tell you? Always Judgment and Ace of Swords. And also Hermit and 4 of Swords, which also came out here. So we have the Ace of Coins for that Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Queen of Wands. 7 of Cups. 10 of Wands. 10 of Swords, 6 of Swords, Queen of Swords, 9 of Swords, and another Emperor. All right, so this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Thank you so much, Taurus. You know I love and adore you. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.